Hello friends, I am Dr. Simarpreet Singh. In this, I will be covering out the Amazon S3, which is a storage service. S3 signifies the simple storage service, which is a service provided by Amazon in AWS. So Amazon Simple Storage Service is an object storage service that offers industry-leading scalability, data availability, security, and performance. It is widely used service for storage purposes. You can refer to this official docs for S3, which explains how this S3 works, the data consistency model of S3, and related topics, along with the features of S3. So this complete document is available by AWS for you to go through. So in today's, I will be covering out these tasks. So I will be creating out a bucket in S3 and I will be uploading the object. Then I will be moving with the deletion of the objects and make sure this deletion is the accidental deletion and not the permanent deletion, and I will be recovering back the objects, the original files. Then I will be explaining the concept of cross-region replication CRR, and finally I will be emptying the bucket and deleting the bucket. These tasks I will be covering out today. To start up with, I am onto the AWS Management Console. Since S3 is the storage service, I navigate to the services and storage. In storage, I am clicking on this S3, which enables me to use the S3 services. So as soon as I click on the S3, I am able to see this page, which is an Amazon S3 page showing the use cases of S3, the case studies of S3, and plenty other information. On the right hand side, I am able to see this create a bucket and create bucket option. I click on this create bucket to create the bucket. The first thing it asks me is the bucket name. Make sure you enter all the characters in small letters. If you enter the characters in capital letters, it will be giving you an error. So I will be giving any name over here. So E23 SAMAR. So this is my bucket name, E23 Simmer. Region, I am keeping this region as default. Object ownership, it is asking me for the ACL disabled or ACL enabled. As of now, I am moving with ACL disabled, which is recommended option. Then it is asking me about the block public access settings for this bucket. Since I want my objects to be publicly accessible, I am removing this block so that my bucket should be publicly accessible. You can only access the objects in public domain if your bucket is in public domain. Then I am accepting this warning that I acknowledge that the current settings might result in this bucket and the objects within becoming public. Then the bucket versioning is there. I require this bucket versioning, but I will not be enabling this. I will be enabling this at the later part. So as of now, I am keeping it as disable itself. Tags are the optional field. Default encryption, I am keeping it as default. Bucket key, it is enabling. I am not making any changes in the advanced settings, and I am clicking on the create bucket option. As soon as I clicked on the create bucket option, I am able to see this success message that this bucket with the name as E23 Simmer has been created successfully. So I am able to see this bucket as well inside my complete buckets. So when I click on this bucket, I am able to see that there are no objects inside this bucket. You can see this path. Amazon S3 buckets and then the name of the bucket. So I am inside the bucket, and all these objects, properties, permission, all these tabs applies for the properties of the bucket only. So inside the objects, I am not having any objects. Now I will be creating a Word file or the Notepad file, the txt file, and I will be uploading it over here. To create a Notepad txt file, I am opening the Notepad at my end, and I am entering some random text. So I am entering as this is Amazon S3 service. So I'm entering some random text, and I am saving this file on any interface with the name as MyLab1, and I am saving this file with the name as MyLab1. Now I am uploading this file on the S3. For that, I am selecting this upload button inside the bucket that I have created with the name as E23 Simmer. So I am selecting this upload option. I am uploading the file now since it is a file, not a folder. So I am clicking on the add files. I am selecting that file, and I am able to locate that file. This file is mylab1.txt. So this is my bucket destination S3 colon / E23 simmer, and I am not changing anything. I am keeping all other settings as default. I am selecting the upload option to upload this txt file on the bucket. So upload is succeeded. I am selecting close. Now I am able to see the same file mylab1.txt over here inside my bucket E23 simmer. So these all are the properties that applies to the buckets, and if I want to see the details of the file, I can click on this file, and these are all the details of the file that I have uploaded onto the S3 bucket. I am able to see the object URL. This is a public domain URL. I am selecting this URL, but it is giving me an error of access denied. This error is, I am getting this error. The reason behind that is this file, the object that I have uploaded is not having the public access as of now. To change the access of this object, I am navigating to the permissions of the text file that I have uploaded. So when I click on permissions, I am able to see the access control list, and it is giving me that this bucket has a bucket owner enforce setting that is applied for the object ownership. So I need to remove this particular setting. To remove, so I am clicking on this bucket owner enforced, and I will be redirecting to the object ownership page, where earlier I have selected ACL disabled, which was recommended, but now I am selecting ACL enabled option. I am selecting this warning as well, and I am not changing any other settings, and clicking on the save changes part. So once I did so, I am able to see that the objects can be public. That is the permission access given to the objects inside this bucket. Now I am coming back to the same objects, the file, and now I am trying to access the object URL. I am clicking on this object URL. I am still getting the error because I have just changed the properties of ACL, but I have not given the permission to this object, the public access to this object. To do so, inside the permissions of the file, the object, I am able to see this edit option. So click on this edit option and enable the read access for everyone as well as for the authenticated user group, and click on I understand the efforts of these changes of the object and click on Save Changes. Once you do so, now you are having the public access read permissions to this object. To read the contents of this file, you will be selecting the object URL. Now click on this object URL. You are able to see the contents of the file. So this is the public access given to the objects in S3. Now next is I am re-uploading the same txt file with some altered text. So how to do so? This is my previous file, mylab1.txt, which is having the text as this is Amazon S3 service. Now I am enhancing or altering the text in this file with this is my Amazon S3 service, happy learning. I'm saving this file with the same name and I am re-uploading this file, but before doing so I am enabling the versioning of the file. To enable the version of this file, I am selecting this object, navigating to the versions, and I am enabling the bucket versioning. Selecting this will enable the bucket versioning, and when I navigate to my bucket, I am able to see this show versions option available in here in the bucket. Now the show version option is off. I am able to see one single file. I am enabling this out. It is on now. I am still able to see one single file. So I am turning this off. I am uploading this txt, the notepad file with the altered text, and I am selecting this upload option, add files. I am re-uploading the same file with the same name inside the same bucket. So I click on upload. The file is uploaded successfully. I am closing this part, coming back to the bucket. I am able to see one single object over here when my show version is off. When my show version, I am enabling this show versions. Now I am able to see two versions of this file. This is a previous version which is representing with the date and time as well, along with the size also. In the previous version, I enhanced some text, happy learning, so that this file size is increased. So earlier it was 26 bytes. This is my latest version having the increased size as 45 bytes. You can see the timestamp is also latest as compared to the previous file. So from here you can distinguish that this is your previous file and this is your latest file. Now I am proceeding ahead with the deletion of this file accidentally and then how to recover this file. To delete this file accidentally, I am turning off this show versions option so that I am able to see one single file. I am selecting this file and navigating to the delete. So I am able to see delete objects. This option I am only be able to see when the file is being deleted accidentally. To delete this object, I am entering delete option over here and the delete objects option is enabled now. I'm selecting this delete objects option and you can see that the objects are deleted successfully. I'm selecting close to turn back to my bucket. Now in my bucket E23 Simmer, I am not able to see any objects. All the files have been deleted in this bucket. Now if I enable this show versions option, I am able to see three files in this bucket. This is my previous file. This is my latest file as we have discussed already. And along with these two files, I am able to see one more entry, which is a delete marker having 0 bytes entry, which contains the record that this file has been deleted on this and this time, this and this date. To recover the old or the latest file, you need to select the respective file. So this is your old file, this is your latest file. If you want to recover the latest file, this is your latest file, you need to select this file and navigate to actions and click on download as. As soon you click on download as, a box will be appearing in front of you, which will be giving you the option to right click the link and choose save link as. And you are having this link with you. To download this file, just right click and click on save link as. The file will be downloaded in your system. Or the second option to download this file is just click on this name of the file. Simply when you click once, the file will be downloaded to your machine, and when you run this file, you will be able to see the same contents of the object that you have uploaded on the S3, the latest file of txt that you have created in the notepad. So you can re-upload this file to the S3 bucket and your file will be recovered back. So this is the mechanism of deleting accidentally the file and recovering back the objects in the bucket. Next part, we will be moving on with the cross-region replication CRR. To create a cross-region replication of this bucket, you need to create one more bucket. So let's create one more bucket. I'm selecting create bucket option. So I'm selecting the same name as E23 simmer, but this time I am selecting 2 as the option. E23 simmer -2, which signifies that this is my second bucket. Reason, as of now, I am keeping this reason same. If you want to have some other reason as well, you can choose according to the valid reason. Since I am working on some restrictions and I am having the access only to a single reason, so that's why I am not changing this reason, but you definitely can change this reason because this is a cross reason application. So leaving all these options as default, I am not changing anything and I am creating this bucket. So now I am having two buckets in my S3 account, and now I am creating the replica of first bucket onto the second bucket. To create the cross region application, I am selecting the first bucket and I am navigating to management tab. I am getting the option as replication rules. I am creating the replication rule for my first bucket. So this is the create replication rule page. To create the replication rule, I am entering the rule name. So let's have this rule name as RRN. Status is enabled. Source bucket, already the bucket name is selected, E23 simmer. Prefix, it is asking for the prefix, you can give any name, pre-RRN. Tags is the optional field. Destination is the second bucket that you have created in S3. To select that particular bucket, I'm selecting this option, browse S3. I am selecting this second bucket. I am selecting the option as choose path. So the name of the second bucket will appear over here. IAM role, I am selecting the IAM role as lab role, as this lab role contains the permissions for the S3 buckets. I am keeping all other options as default and clicking on the save to complete the region replication rule. Now it is asking me that you want to replicate the existing objects. So I am selecting no. The new objects will be replicated from now after creating the rule. So I am selecting this submit option. You are able to see the replication configuration successfully updated. So if I again check this page, I am able to see one replication rule has been created with the name as RRN and status is enabled. So this is the way how you can create the replication rule. To have more details on this replication rule, you can select this RRN. So you are able to see the complete details that you have opted for in the configuration part. So this is how you can create cross-region replication. You can select your destination bucket and you can create the cross-region application for the source bucket to the destination bucket. Moving ahead, the last task is to empty and delete the bucket. So we navigate to the buckets. We have two buckets. To empty the bucket, we need to select the bucket and click on empty. So it is saying that permanently delete all objects in bucket, which is the second bucket. We have this keyword as permanent delete in the text field. So to delete that, we need to enter this, but this bucket is having no objects in this, and this is already empty. That's why we are not getting this permanent delete option to enter. So this bucket is already empty. We can proceed ahead with the deletion of this bucket. So delete a bucket, simply select this bucket, navigate to delete, and it is asking that deletion bucket cannot be undone. So this is the deletion will be on the permanent basis. If you still confirm, you need to enter the name of the bucket, which is E23 simmer-2 in my case, and I select the option as delete bucket to delete the bucket. So you can see successfully deleted the bucket with the name as bucket 2. The same way you can delete the original bucket as well, the very first bucket. You can check for the emptying objects. Since this is having some objects in between the versions that were there, so you need to delete them out. So write the text that is mentioned over here and click on empty. So successfully emptied the bucket. Now the bucket is successfully emptied. You click on exit so that you can come back to the buckets again. You are able to see the bucket. Select the bucket, click on delete option, enter the bucket name and click on delete bucket option to delete the bucket. Now you are not having any buckets. That's why you are redirecting to your default S3 home page. So this is how we work on Amazon S3, and in today's session I completed up with these tasks: creating of the bucket, uploading the object inside the bucket, then we create the another object, uploaded it again, and using version we delete the object accidentally and try to recover the objects. Then we worked on how to create the cross region application CRR for one bucket over to the another, and then how to empty and delete the bucket. This all tasks has been done using the Amazon Management Console. You can work on Amazon CLI as well, the command line interface, where you can complete all these steps using the command line interface also. Thank you everyone for this video. I wish happy learning towards these lab works. Thank you.